Hi everyone, welcome back to week 10 of the 2012 NFL season. Sorry for this little bumpy I have on my lip. I've been really under the weather, kind of like my picks. No, seriously, I went 2-2 with my ATS picks last week, and get this, 0-4 with my over-unders. Who's doing that? One thing I did is I went back last year and saw some of my videos from last year, and what I noticed is that I haven't been drinking like I used to do in last year's videos, so I'm going to be doing that right now. And no, this is not actually red wine, it's pomegranate juice. And while I don't particularly like pomegranate juice, when you put tequila in it, well, it's just great. Another thing I've noticed is that home teams are 49, 66, and 3 against the spread. That's only 42%. And the home favorite is actually 33 and 48 against the spread for 40%, according to my calculations. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick on the home teams this week. So our first game that we're going to look at against the spread has Denver going to Carolina, where the Panthers are 4-point dogs at home. Now, Denver has only lost 3 games all year. They are to Atlanta, Houston, and New England, 3 of the top, say, 8 teams in the entire NFL. The games that they have won, they've won them by 8 points or more. So let's take Denver -4. The second game has Atlanta going to New Orleans. The Saints are 2.5-point dogs at home. Basically, this is a pick'em game. You know, Atlanta's actually outscoring their opponents 121-81 on the road. That's 10 points more than their opponents when they're on the road, and they're 4-0 against the spread on the road as well. New Orleans is actually coming off of that short week they played on Monday night, and as much as they would like to end Atlanta's perfect run, I think that Atlanta would just like even more to stick it to New Orleans and end any playoff hopes that they have. Let's take Atlanta -2.5. The third game we're going to look at has Detroit going to Minnesota, where my Vikings are 2.5-point dogs at home. You know, these two teams are headed entirely in opposite directions. A lot of people thought that Detroit was going to be a playoff caliber team, and people are surprised that Minnesota's actually 5-4. I'm not. I follow this team. I know what they're doing. They had a pretty soft schedule. They played some really soft teams like Tennessee and Jacksonville, and I know they caught the Niners napping, but this is the true Minnesota team right now. You know, Minnesota's actually been having a lot of injury problems. Percy Harvin hurt his ankle in 3 different places. I don't know if he's good to go. And in the defensive backfield, we've lost cornerback Chris Cook, who is a real vital part of our team. Last year, he was suspended for like 10 games, and in those games, I think Minnesota went 0-11. Minnesota's only won one game recently, and that was against Arizona, who've lost, I believe, 5 straight. This is a revenge game for Detroit. You know, we beat them in Detroit about a month ago. Minnesota's going into the bye, and I want to tell you a few little statistics here. Teams going to the bye are 8-16 straight up. That's only 33%, and worse against the spread. They're 6-18. That's 25% against the spread. Lay the points. Take Detroit -2.5. The fourth game we're going to look at has the New York Jets going to Seattle, where the Seahawks are 6-point favorites at home. Okay, if you've been watching my videos the last couple of weeks, you'll notice that I've been really paying attention to teams coming off the bye versus teams going into the bye. Every time that's happened so far this year, the teams coming off the bye going against the teams going into the bye are 5-0 against the spread. As a matter of fact, they've actually covered the spread by 6 points or more, and that's the spread in this game, so this could be an upset here. Take the Jets +6. Okay, here are my 4 over-under plays. I heard that. The first game we're going to look at has Dallas going to Philadelphia. That number is 44.5. Now, both these teams have only gone over the number 3 times each all year. The under is 7-1 in Dallas's last 8 road games, and it's also 7-1 in the last 8 games that Philadelphia has played against NFC East teams. The under is 5-2 in the last 7 games that these two teams have played each other. You know, both teams have have lost the ball 19 times each. So what's going to happen, in my opinion, is that Vic is going to bring Philadelphia down the field and throw an interception, and then Romo's going to do the same thing, bring the Cowboys down the field and throw an interception, and it's going to be 0-0 at the half. You know what? Let's take under 44.5. The second game we're going to look at has Buffalo going to New England. That number's 52. 4 of Buffalo's games, 4 or 5 of Buffalo's last games have gone over. Meanwhile, after a couple of unders to start the season, New England has rattled off 6 straight overs. Now, that number is 52, and both of these two teams, in the games that they're playing, the points being scored in those games are over 52. As a matter of fact, New England, in the last 6 games that they've played, are averaging 58 points scored in their games. So let's take over 52. The third game has San Diego going to Tampa Bay. That number is 47.5. Again, San Diego, 4 of their last 5 games have gone over, and with Tampa Bay, they've played 5 straight overs. Also Tampa Bay, the last 4 games that they've played have gone over this 47.5. San Diego's 3 unders have come against teams that can't run the ball. Cleveland with their 27th running offense, Oakland with their 31st running offense, and Atlanta with their 25th. All the other games have gone over. Tampa Bay's rookie running back Doug Martin had a big week last week. I expect the same here. He ran for like 260 yards in the game last week, which was Tampa Bay against another AFC West foe, I think it was Oakland. They scored 67 points alone in the half, so let's take over 47.5. And the fourth game we're going to look at has Houston going to Chicago. That number is 41. You've got 2 of the top defenses in the entire NFL. Houston allows only 17 points scored a game, and the Bears only allow 15 points. Chicago scores a lot of their points off of defensive turnovers. Well, Houston is number 1 in the league with only 6 turnovers against. So let's take under the 41. Okay, so I'm going to stand over here and we're going to talk about the straight-up games. Not too difficult this week, in my opinion. Cincinnati is an interesting game. They're playing the Giants this week. The Bengals have actually, this will be their 4th week in a row where they're not traveling. They 3 straight at home with a bye week. And it's really hard for Cincinnati to lose, or for teams to lose 3 straight games at home. That being said, the Giants are one of those teams that do a bit better, at least against the spread, on the road, and that's what they are. I think I'll take the Giants here. We mentioned the Jets versus Seattle. I think that game could be a bit of a surprise. I'm taking the Jets. Dallas at Philadelphia is really close. I think it's a 1-point spread. Your guess is as good as mine. I think this is going to be a comedy of errors, so get your laugh track ready for this one. And then there's Houston at Chicago. 1-point difference here. I like the home team. I'll take Chicago. And if you're still alive in your suicide pool, in your survivor league, there's 4 games that you can choose from. Buffalo's at New England. That's a pretty high spread. The Patriots have beaten Buffalo, except for that hiccup last year. I think they've beaten them 15 straight or something stupid like that. Oakland's at Baltimore. Baltimore has been having troubles against the run, but Darren McFadden is out for Oakland. At least I think he's out, or if not hurt. You could go with Baltimore there. St. Louis is at San Francisco. This is one of those ticklish ones. It's a division contest, but I think San Francisco will win. And then the Monday nighter has Kansas City going to Pittsburgh. That's the biggest spread of the week, 12.5. This game might actually be called at the halfway through the first quarter with the mercy rule. I'm going to take Pittsburgh with my suicide pick. All right. Those are my picks for this week. Good luck to you. Please subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up and comment in the comment section below. All right, for the GeoKnows channel, I am Geo. Let's try to take some of the man's money. Okay, get out of here.